Hello, it's Nicole, and today I have a card featuring the Simon Says Stamp Scribble flowers, as well as a Simon Says Stamp background and a My Favorite Things background and some greetings from Simon Says Stamp. To create my card, I'm going to stamp some of these fun scribble flowers using a few of the new hybrid My Favorite Things ink. This is the Red Hot ink. I'm going to stamp the largest circular flower, solid flower, and then I'm going to stamp the outline of that using the hybrid black ink. I've always loved the look of layered circular flower accents and things for scrapbooking or card making, and I thought this was really fun to create a card with these. I stamped another one of these circles using the Orange Fizz hybrid ink, and then this smaller one with the Simon Says Stamp Sunshine dye ink. And the leaves I'm all stamping with the My Favorite Things hybrid gumdrop green ink. I really love that there are coordinating outlines for all of these solid shapes. And then these fun little lines, that's a little hashtag type design, and another one that has just a couple of little lines that you can give them a little bit of distressing. For the pink flower, I'm going to be using the Simon Says Stamp Doll Pink ink. And I did end up stamping a few more flowers. However, I'm going to go ahead and die cut the ones I have out. I didn't realize until I had these die cut that I needed a couple more pieces. I like to try to get as many die cut through one pass of the machine as possible, so I used some Post-it tape to hold my dies in place and ran them through the machine. There's a couple of great sketchy or scribble stems included in the Scribble Flowers stamp set. Again, I'm going to stamp these with the Gumdrop Green hybrid ink. Do a couple sets of those and cut those out with the coordinating dies as well. For my background piece, I have a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of Neenah Solar White cardstock, and I'm inking up the Simon Says Stamp Moroccan background with the My Favorite Things Grout Gray hybrid ink. And I'm going to take my paper to the background. I find I get better coverage when I take my paper to the background instead of taking my stamp to the paper. Make sure I press that really well and get good coverage. The Grout Gray ink is one of my absolute favorite colors simply because it is so light when it dries. So it's really subtle and not overpowering. So you can get great texture and detail for backgrounds especially without it overpowering the other elements on the card. I've inked up the brand new Romantic Script background from My Favorite Things using the same Grout Gray ink. I'm going to press that on, and this isn't so much that you see the text, but it just is really subtle there throughout that Moroccan background, and I like that it's the same color. It just gives it a little bit more texture. For my greeting, I'm going to use the Hi There sentiment from the Stripe Greetings Simon Says Stamp set. Stamp that with the hybrid black ink. And then the little phrase underneath it I am using from the Simon Says Stamp Sketchy Banners stamp set. I'm going to die cut this piece now using the My Favorite Things Blueprints 15, one of the dies in the Blueprints collection here. And this is just going to give the edges a great stitched design without actually having to machine stitch it or anything like that. Very subtle but fun. Here is those two little dashed lines from the Scribble Flowers stamp set. I'm going to add just a few more stamped distressing details before I put my card together. grab that hashtag one more time and stamp this leaf with that one. I really like that look. I think it's super fun. Once I have all of my elements stamped and die cut, I'm ready to assemble the card. I'm using the Zig glue pen to apply a little liquid adhesive to those really thin flower stems. It's about the best way, I think, a liquid adhesive like this to attach these. They're so teeny tiny. I'm going to use foam adhesive to place these flowers on my card for a little bit of dimension.
God damn it.
See how I want to place that there. I want to make sure I don't overlap the greeting at all. And I'm going to continue to add some foam adhesive to all these pieces while I assemble the card. I'm applying this other stem. I'm letting it overhang a little bit over there on the right, and I will trim that off in a little while. I'm adding foam adhesive behind the center pieces of the flowers, those layered circles as well. I think I like how it looks. You can definitely tell the difference between the one I've done there on the left compared with the other two on the right. Originally I thought I would pop up the leaves as well, but because the stems are flat with the card, I really didn't like that. So I'm using some medium-sized Zotz glue dots to attach those leaves to the card. And I did end up adding one additional leaf there to that third flower clear on the right. I'm taking a white gel pen and adding some dot detail to my flowers and leaves. This is very much inspired by my friend Kathy, who makes beautiful cards, and she oftentimes uses white pen detail on her creations. Once I have all of the dots placed where I want them, I did take the Wink of Stella clear glitter brush marker and I colored over both the centers of the flowers and then the larger piece of the flower as well for a little subtle shimmer and shine. The last thing I did was place this whole piece on a white card base and I was finished. The supplies I've used are all listed and linked below the video on YouTube. For more information, please visit my blog. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.